Welcome to Tim's Vinyl Confessions and welcome to a brand new feature I'm going to call An Album in Brief. This is going to be a short little video where I talk about an album, usually one that is celebrating a release date or an anniversary of a release date, talk about what led up to the album release, the singles from it, and how it did and how it's looked back upon. And today I'm going to go back to April 12th, 1988 for the 10th studio album from Rockford, Illinois' finest, Cheap Trick, Lap of Luxury. This was released, of course, on Epic Records, as all of their albums were to this point. Now, up to this period, up to before the album, this album came out, Cheap Trick's album sales had been floundering. In the early 80s, they had All Shook Up and One on One, which were gold, but they had 3 albums after that, Next Position, Please, Standing on the Edge, and The Doctor, all of which failed to certify. And the record company basically said to them, you know, guys, if you don't get any hits this time, we're going to have to drop you. They've been on the label for a long, long time. This album was the first to feature bassist Tom Peterson since 1980's All Shook Up. He had been replaced by Pete Comita and then John Brandt, but now he came back. So the original 4 members of Cheap Trick were back together for this album. Now, reportedly, there was an entire other album that the band had recorded and submitted to Epic Records that was rejected by the label. To this date, I don't know if any of those songs have seen the light of day. There are people out there that know way more about Cheap Trick than I do, can probably tell you where some of those songs ended up. So a lot of the songs on Lap of Luxury ended up being, as per the era, by outside writers. Just a quick scan of the writing credits indicates Todd Carney, Mike Chapman, Holly Knight, Diane Warren, etc., etc. Of course, the reason that this album is significant in Cheap Trick history is because it did bring them success that they had not had in a long, long time, and that was due to the first single, The Flame. This song went all the way to #1 on Billboard, brought them back into the charts in a big way, and in some circles this song is not well looked upon by fans. It was written by a couple of outside writers, B. Mitchell and N. Graham. I happen to really like the song. I think Robin Zander's vocals are amazing on it. It's probably one of my favorite power ballads of the 1980s. This did the trick for no pun intended, Cheap Trick, a #1 song. They followed it up with another big hit, a cover of Elvis Presley's Don't Be Cruel. The aforementioned Diane Warren, Ghost Town, that co-write dented the top 40, and there was one more single release that only hit #75, Never Had a Lot to Lose, and that song was written by Robin Zander and the returning Tom Peterson. So yes, Cheap Trick fans generally don't care for this album. Myself, I think they picked the singles rather well. The opening song, Let Go, is pretty good, but none of the other songs in the album have really gone on to have much life in Cheap Trick's setlist, but it did return them to platinum status one last time. So that's a look at Cheap Trick's Lap of Luxury. What do you think about this album? Let's get some opinions. And let me know what you think about this feature. Don't forget, if you haven't subscribed to Tim's Vinyl Confessions, hit that subscribe button now, and you'll never miss any content. Thanks for watching this edition of An Album in Brief.